So, I'd like to talk a little bit about Beyond Survival, the unspoken battle of cancer survivorship. And this story is about honoring my mom. And it's not the whole story, it's not even the whole victory, because this woman that I loved, she was 4'11" and she was a mighty woman. She was strong, she was brave, she was relentless. She had 7 kids, and she beat cancer 3 times. So from the outside, it had kind of looked like victory, but from the inside, it didn't really end in celebration because at that time, her third diagnosis took more than just her health. It took her voice, her ability to eat, and her ability to kiss her kids without pain. So the real loss that she endured was not just the fight of cancer. She lost everything that came after because what happens when you're going through the treatments is we post smiling survivor pictures and we talk about, oh, we've gone through the last treatment. But what about the pain that doesn't show up in the scans? The scar tissue that makes swallowing hard, the treatments that silenced her voice, the pain that doesn't show up, the silent struggle, the anxiety with every single cough. Those are the cost of victory that we don't see, that no one else understands. When they took half her tongue and half her throat, this was supposed to help her survive. And she chose to do it, and it was her choice. But the grief of looking at herself in the mirror, not having a voice anymore, not having the way to eat as she had once done. So we took these positions and we say that her life was actually stripped away because the pieces of her was now gone. And so many times we don't talk about that in cancer. We talk about all of the treatments and the various things that can happen. But what we don't realize and what we're not talking about is how survivorship is more than just survival, because it's waken up to a body that has changed, that no longer carries the same strengths that we once had. Our heart is searching for peace. We save lives, but we don't always get a quality of life. And that's kind of the myth of beating cancer, because we go through these treatments and we're so excited and we ring the bells and we post survival photos and it's like we're celebrating the end of the treatment. But no one talks about what happens next. And what happens so many times are all those people that we were surrounded with at one time, cheering you on and wanting to be there. All of a sudden, they're nowhere to be found. They're not there. So the hidden cost of survival goes beyond the hospital walls. Physically, people suffer with nerve damage, chronic fatigue. They can't eat. The daily frustration of eating and speaking, which was a big issue with my mom. And these are the pains that we don't see. The scar tissue that makes swallowing a battle. Anxiety with every single cough. It hurts. It's painful. and not recognizing our own reflection. So, what is life after the war? Because you see, for my mom, it seemed like a war, especially for the children of survivors. We don't often talk about that. And for my mom, her body had been through a war. 3 times she went through cancer. But the quality of life changed so much. She had depression, anxiety, and socially, the silence was deafening. The friends that used to come around, the friends that were there all the time, all of a sudden, they're not there. Why, you ask? It just happens. Survivor, people don't know what to say. They don't know what to do. And the truth of the matter is, there's nothing really anyone can do. But the emotional toll that it takes a cancer survivor, but the children, the other parents involved. She once told us, I survived the cancer, but I lost myself because her heart, the love and the joy that she used to have by being with us kids, by doing for us, was no longer there. So it wasn't resilience anymore. It was depression. And some people say it was PSTD. The truth is, when her voice changed, people stopped listening, except for the children that were around, because her appearance changed. So then friends stopped visiting. They didn't know how to react. So she became invisible in a world where she once was celebrated in her survival. All of a sudden, she's like invisible. She's like in a cloud. She's abandoned in her own struggles, in her own body. So we must stop equating survival with healing. The socioeconomic burden of survival is they have a lot of loss. Because for my mom, not only did she lose her voice, half her tongue, she lost her job, which she loved. And all of a sudden, after 25 years, she couldn't go any longer. Her ability to work was taken away. Therapy, home therapy, it was out of reach. The costs are insurmountable. And then there were times where we had to choose medication over groceries. And those things should not have to be a choice. That's not survivorship. We must look into this and we must make laws to change so that we can help. There's so many treatments coming out, so many new techniques, and yet we're not looking at survivorship and how it needs to change. Because it's not just a checkup either. Think about this as your own family. If your mom was going through this, we need equity in accessibility and support for everyone. Because without that, we set up these survivors to fail. So not only are they suffering with the cancer, with the treatments, but they're suffering because the support is not there. For me, one of the things that I feel that we definitely need to look at is honoring the entire story. Because what we need and what survivors need is that long-term integrated care. We have the technology. We need to use it to help these survivors. We need to have trauma-informed medical and mental health support because these survivors lose themselves. They lose their heart. They lose so many things, not only loss, but personality, strength that they once had, and they feel so down. We need to have a community of safe places that honor the entire story of a survivorship, no matter what they're going through. Because if she was here today, the one thing that she would tell you, she wouldn't ask for pity. She would ask for progress. And I believe today that's what we need more of, progress. Survivor is a lifetime, her legacy. It's not a temporary chapter. It's the rest of their life. We owe it to them to make their life worth living. After all, our mothers, our fathers, they were the ones who raised us. Don't they deserve the dignity and the care that they gave us as we were young? She's gone now, but not because she didn't fight hard enough, but because the system stopped fighting for her. And I truly believe that that needs to change. But her voice does live on. It may have been taken, but her truth lives through me and through my brothers and sisters and through you, because you have the ability to make changes. If you love a survivor, or maybe you're one, or you hear that there is a survivor out there, we must do better. We must protect not just the life, but the quality of life. Let's honor our survivors with care, dignity, and action. Survivors should be more than a celebration. And this is, for me, in memorandum to Peggy Lucille Tucker, my beautiful mother. And let's make it a point to make changes so that those who are dealing with cancer have a better survivorship and a better life. Thank you.